The following contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
I love marriage. Marriage, yeah, is awesome. It's so beneficial. So many benefits for a guy when you get married. Like when you get married, you're a guy, you get a little helper in the car. I love my little helper in the car. She knows everything about driving. It's very convenient for me. But sometimes I get confused. See, I don't know how I get anywhere without my helper in the car. I'd probably be bouncing off trees and buildings and stuff, but she's there to help. Like, she tells me when the light changes colors and everything. It's very convenient and helpful. Like, it's green. Thank you, Albert. Because I was confused. I didn't know. Thanks, Captain Prism. I always know how fast I'm going with my helper. She lets me know. You know how fast you're going? Yeah, I got a speedometer right here, but thanks for the backup. That thing ever snaps in half, I got you to back me up.
Hello, boys. Mark.
I just pooped and it smells fabulous.
Lowell.
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one.
It's the Marc and Lowell Show.
It was a show just for me and you, much like this podcast.
Where two guys bring you stories and opinions.
Our listeners will not laugh.
But if we laugh, then people will laugh.
Built on 30 years of friendship.
You were singing operatically.
Yeah, while you were taking the camera.
And I was zooming in.
Zooming in on my crotch.
Yes.
Along with a regular cast of pals to help them remember it all.
Camp is the best.
Get your shit together.
All right, so back to your swamp ass.
Say ho.
Now, here's Marc and Lowell.
Hello and welcome, everybody, to the Marc and Lowell Show. I am your host, Mark Ronick, and here with me, as always, my co-host, Lowell Melser. Hello, Lowell.
Hello, what's cooking?
What's cooking, man? How are you?
I don't know, I feel, I had to do the morning show the past couple of days.
Oh, not the 98 Rock morning show.
No, the TV morning show, which is early.
What
really?
time?
You have to get up much earlier than you would for 98 Rock?
Yeah, 98 Rock, I can get up at like 5.
Ooh.
Okay. Wow, so this is earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to tell you. You guys you're gonna quiver when I tell you.
Oh, brother, you can't make me quiver right now. I'll tell you that
that's
much.
true, because you're in wake up every hour mode. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Baby.
Settle down.
No, I wake up at like 2:50.
Ooh.
That is serious.
That sucks.
Because the
That's
show
bad.
starts at 4:30.
Ooh.
It takes me like
Wow.
25 minutes to get to work.
And so when you get there, are you doing a lot of prep or has somebody done it for you?
No, I do all the prep the night before.
Wow.
So I do all the forecasting. I have everything written out. So all I have to do when I get there is just roll in and change all the graphics, which doesn't take very long because I have all the info already.
And do you do that work, that pre-work, do you do that at your house or do you do that at the office?
I do it at my house. Yeah.
Nice.
I have access to all the stuff, so on my computer.
Still even tired this week. I see you still have lots of fun with your buddy Tim Tootin.
Yeah, we're trying to do something like once a week now to get the flow going.
Yeah, here's the latest.
All right, Tim, I just noticed we're wearing pink shirts.
Man, it's that time again. You know, Lowell, good to be back with you with these videos.
Here, let me shake that.
Yes, indeed.
We gotta step up our game.
Yeah, you know what? I find that pink is the new pink.
Pink's the new pink. You gotta be comfortable in your pink with your blue tie.
Yeah, I think people actually, it draws people. Mm-hmm. There's got to be some effect there.
It gives me confidence.
I feel real good. Like I got pink on.
I feel good.
Like I know that I should.
I like Tim Tootin. I want him on this show one time.
Yeah, we'll get him on.
Yeah, maybe we could just get Mark out of the picture. Welcome to the the Tim and Lowell Show.
I mean, with the name Tim Tootin, it's perfect for the show.
Root tootin' bootin'.
Perfect. So, hey, let's introduce everybody first before we go any further. We've got our good friend Lisa Runyon. Hello, Lisa.
Hello, boys.
And we've got Jonah Berger. Hello, Jonah.
Say, brothers, what's happening?
Before we dive in too far, Lowell, I have to issue an apology to Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah, you sure do, champ. Why don't you get that foot out your mouth and then issue the apology?
Wait, what happened?
On our last show,
Right.
we talked about the new Top Gun movie coming out, and we were questioning why haven't they shown Val Kilmer in any of the preview.
Right.
I said it's because he's kind of let it all go and he's gotten quite heavy. Then a listener posts on my Facebook wall an article, I think it was from People, that Val Kilmer just recently spoke at some convention, or not even a convention, I think it was like a benefit. He is recovering from cancer.
Oh.
Throat cancer.
Yes.
Yikes.
Thanks.
Now,
First class heel.
yeah,
Right.
I will say, though, that there was a point before we knew about this, which, by the way, also, apparently that was announced in 2017. I didn't get the word.
I never heard it either.
Good prep. Good show prep.
Yeah, nice prep.
So my apologies to Val Kilmer, and if I offended anyone, I am sorry.
I was offended.
I was wrong. I am
sorry.
What I'm going to do is just tell everyone, you know what? I always tell you a different sponsor to go to. Why don't instead just go to markandlowell.com, pick a sponsor that you see on our page, patronize that sponsor, and do us a favor. It gives us a little piece of the action, or our sponsors pay to be there, so supporting them supports us. It all goes around, so we appreciate that. markandlowell.com.
markandlowell.com.
Now, should we get right into the, once again, the Oreos?
Oh, God, with the Oreos.
Oh, yeah. I could talk about Oreos.
We seem to do it a lot because they have, quite frankly,
They're
a lot of
constantly
flavors.
coming out with new flavors.
I had texted you guys, all three of you, recently when I was at the store. I saw the new flavor, the limited edition Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip ice cream Oreo flavor.
So good.
So good.
So good.
I mean, Lowell, honestly, we have talked about the s'mores being the best one. This one, I feel like, comes close.
Eat your heart out, Girl Scouts Thin Mints.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
Thin
hold
Mints
on.
suck.
I know. All Girl Scout cookies are bad now.
Yeah, they've kind of taken a little turn for the worse.
They have. But this Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip Oreo is fantastic.
I don't buy myself cookies anymore. I bought this one, and then I bought a second.
Yeah, so did Allie.
Can I just ask, they are that different than the mint
Yes.
Oreos?
Yes.
It's like that excitingly different?
You know what I notice it is? Just like the s'mores, the filling in the middle is like extra soft.
It's soft and gooey.
And gooey. Because, Jonah, you like the double stuff. I think you will
I
really
do like the double stuff.
I think you will like these, again, just like the s'mores, because the filling in the middle is so, like, mushy. It's not, like, harder like the
I've been
standard.
to 18 stores since the last show, and ain't nobody got no s'mores on the shelf.
Did you go to Target?
Yeah, I've been to Target. I've been all over the
swear
town.
to you, I was looking everywhere.
Dude, just order it on Amazon.
Ooh, Amazon.
That's a good call.
But first, go to markandlowell.com.
Right.
Yeah,
on the
or you can go to
Amazon banner,
markandlowell.com.
and then place your order.
Right.
Well, what I like about the inside, the filling, is it's two layers like the s'mores. You've got the chocolate layer, and then you've got the mint cream layer underneath that.
Ooh, that's nice.
Are there chocolate chips?
No.
In
It says
So
there
then I would
are, though,
probably
on the
okay.
package.
Yeah, but there ain't no chips in
It
that.
says there's chocolate chips in it, but there are not chocolate chips
All right.
in it.
After the show, I'm going to get gas for my wife's car, and I will swing by the grocers and
Excellent.
see if the elusive fancy cookies are on the show.
Where are you going to go? The Albertsons?
Yeah, the Albertsons. Exactly. The saves a lot.
And you know, when I sent you guys these Oreos, this picture of the packaging, Lisa, it's actually, I'm surprised Lisa's here today because I'm pretty sure Lowell and I had fired her after she said
it wouldn't take.
Yeah, she's not into mint. Yeah, she's not into.
Into mint chocolate chip ice cream. Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
That's a shunda. That's a shunda.
That is a shunda.
Favorite ice cream. Right up there with chocolate chip. Those two top the least favorite.
God,
Wait,
what's
are you
wrong
insane?
With you? Yes, I'm insane.
No.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. I do not like the hard pieces of chocolate in my ice cream.
What?
Why? I just don't like because it's dark chocolate and then it's just really hard and I don't know. I just don't like it.
It's like a chocolate raft on an ice cream ocean.
It's just not good to me at all. I don't like it.
I don't like it. Chocolate chip is so good. It's
actually. I think it is my go-to flavor. When I go to any ice cream place, the first thing I do is look to see if they have mint chocolate chip because if they have weird other flavors, I know at least I've got my go-to.
There's that ice cream place in Baltimore, the Charmery. Did we go there with you? You know, it's
yes,
on that
you took me there.
Yeah. They make their mint chocolate chip with Andes candies. With the mint, with the mint Andes candies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite go-to? What's your So Mark, yours is that.
Yeah, that is my go-to. It may not even be my favorite. It could be up there, but it's the one I know I'm going to like pretty much wherever I go.
All right.
Correct. That's like your safe flavor. Like if you go to an ice cream shop and you're not feeling any of the flavors they have.
But if they have,
me, it's either the mint chocolate chip or if they have like a coffee chip.
Yes, I'm with you. Me too.
Yes.
One or the other. Like if I'm not feeling any of the flavors they have, but if they have one of those, I'll go for that.
That is funny. That is exactly like me. And I'll be okay with just a plain old coffee if they don't have anything in it.
You need chocolate in the coffee.
I agree.
But you can always put the syrup on it or something.
No, you don't put the syrup. You need the chips throughout.
And nothing. Right. Now you could have them put chocolate chips on it, I suppose.
I am more of a Cherry Garcia man, and I know they don't have Cherry Garcia at every place, but that is my favorite ice cream.
I'm with you, man.
Garcia.
I'm with you. That's definitely in my top 5.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road is in my top 5 as well.
I don't like the nuts.
See, I like the nuts. I love the nuts.
Didn't they have two different Cherry Garcias? Like one was like chocolate ice cream and one was cherry ice cream. Was that, or am I crazy? Well,
no, you're not crazy. Yeah. That was my favorite of the two, was the chocolate.
Listen, you want to know something about ice cream, and I think this is the truth.
Yes, what?
When it comes down to it, it really doesn't matter what the flavor is. It's usually always pretty good.
Truth.
Like the ice cream.
That's what I was going to say. I don't need a safe flavor. I can go into any ice cream store and just like have an adventure, man. You know?
Yeah, sometimes I think they get a little too cute, though. You know, they're
crazy.
Yeah.
I like some Moose Tracks.
Oh, yeah, I do like Moose Tracks.
Well, so Moose Tracks I actually do like because it's not dark chocolate then.
Right.
But
you don't like the
my other
dark.
go-to, I think, would be cookies and cream. Is like a safe one, no matter where you go to.
Cookies and cream is kind of a limp ween.
See, I don't get that because
come on now, son.
Why wouldn't you then like? I know it's a little more plain, but why wouldn't you like just chocolate chip ice cream then?
Because
it's kind of the same stuff.
But it's not, because in chocolate chip ice cream, the chocolate chips in there are really hard.
Yeah, cookies and cream is like flex.
Cookies cream is not hard.
Fair, that's fair.
What's interesting about cookies and cream is I've had some bad cookies and creams.
Me
before.
too.
Really?
Yeah,
Me too.
I've had some good ones, but I've had some bad ones, and the bad ones like kind of sometimes turn me off to it.
Point.
That's too bad.
Point.
Now there isn't a flavor like Lowell said that I would absolutely say no way to, but
butter pecan.
I'll even eat a butter pecan.
I don't mind some butter pecan.
I would be okay with
butter
that.
pecan. Allie and I call it butter pecan.
David Peekin. I went to Hebrew school with David Peekin.
Yeah, pecan. Wait, you know when we went to the Turkey Hill factory?
Yes.
They said their number one most popular flavor of ice cream is butter pecan.
Really?
The most popular flavor?
And the one they sell the most of. The flavor they sell the most of is butter pecan. I'm like, butter pecan?
Right, that would not be my choice.
That's like my grandparents' era favorite ice cream was butter pecan. My grandfather loved it.
No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. After vanilla, butter pecan was
vanilla.
Okay, yeah.
Oh God!
But vanilla just doesn't
But
count.
everybody
Vanilla
likes
doesn't count
everybody
either.
likes vanilla.
Vanilla is super safe, and if you have like ice cream or cake,
Right.
you know, or pie, a lot of people do vanilla on
toppings.
top of it.
And a little secret, non-chocolate ice creams, the base is always vanilla ice cream.
Interesting.
I learned that too at the Turkey Factory.
Here at the Turkey Factory.
Yeah, Turkey Factory. So any non-chocolate ice cream always starts as vanilla, and then they do all the add-ins to that.
Lowell, you listened very well on your tour. I'm impressed.
I was very interested.
Riveted.
I was very interested.
I'm sure you were. Now, Lowell, you and we tease a lot that maybe someday soon we'll start doing these monthly adventures and talk about them on the podcast. But until then, you and I went on separate adventures over the course of this past week or so. I want to start because I went on a date with someone who was not my wife.
Oh.
And now I will even take it further. A date with a friend's wife.
Oh. One of the
the schleps.
Yeah, what do I call them?
Oh my God, Nebushes.
Nebushes, yeah.
It's the Nebushim.
The Nebushes' wives?
No, it was not. Actually, we all know this person.
Okay.
I even picked her up.
Okay.
At her house.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I brought her to the theater.
Yeah.
I took her home after the movie. She even invited me inside.
Oh.
Fresh.
I went with Seth's wife, Julianne.
Kermie.
To see the 40th anniversary Muppet movie, original movie, in theaters.
I didn't even know that was in theaters.
Well, and it's one of those things I had no idea either. Julianne knew, and she sent me a text. This was like a month ago, I think, and she said, Seth won't go with me to see this movie. She knows how much I love the Muppets.
Right.
She's like, will you please go with me?
And you were partners in Lisa's birthday thing and did the Kermit song together.
That's true. We have done a little,
That's the whole point.
Sketches and skits in the past. You're right.
You're Kermie friends.
I'll tell you, the whole time leading up to it and then during and then even after, we sat in her driveway in my car and just chatted for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time kept thinking to myself, if this were Jonah, if this were Lowell, I would be busting their balls so hard right now because this was, without the physical part of it, this was exactly like a date.
Hey, you want some popcorn and jujubes?
It was really funny. I mean, it's rare to do that. It's really rare to go with your buddy's wife to a date like night.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But it's also cool. You're old friends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, we are old friends. I've known them for years and years and years. But still, Lowell, wouldn't it be weird if I took Allie to a movie one time?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I did take Allie to a movie one time.
Wait, what?
Hey.
What?
Yeah, between me and you, champ.
Yeah. Look.
All right, that's enough.
So let me tell you two things about the movie. Obviously, everyone's seen it, so I don't need to tell you.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
So they were just re-screening this old, just for
for the 40th. It was the 40th anniversary of the release date.
One night.
I think they actually did it twice in a course of a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And they did it everywhere. Our friend Crazy Todd, he posted something on Facebook that he was there. So yeah, they did it everywhere. I'll tell you one thing about the movie that's cool is you've probably seen it a million times. However, it's just different seeing it on screen. You miss little intricacies that they have going on because you've watched it for so many years on a little TV growing up. Mm-hmm. It just really opens up the movie. So that was a cool part. Now, here was the weird thing. The movie was a quarter full. Okay, so which actually surprised me. It was a decent amount of people there, especially on a Tuesday night or whatever it was. The movie is playing, and I'm really into it just because you feel like a kid again. You're sitting at a movie watching the Muppets on screen. But they're watching this, every line that Kermit cracks or joke that Fozzie makes, it's mass hysteria.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
People are laughing. It's like, here, let me...
They're probably all stoned.
Hi, exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
I mean, there were parents and kids. Now, I did hear a little girl who couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old. It was definitely her first time seeing the movie. I could hear her asking questions, and I loved that. I didn't mind getting interrupted by that. I loved that.
How when they respond with awe to stuff.
Yes,
that's
right,
just really cool.
Right. But then there are people in there that are just hysterically laughing. There are little lines.
Hello, Kermie.
Yeah, he'll do have you tried Hare Krishna? You get a lot of
Not
that.
that funny.
Yeah, and there are moments where either I'll laugh in my head or I may give a little chuckle at
Like
what
you
might have been really
smile.
funny 40 years ago the
'Cause,
first
that's
time.
the thing. Does anyone even today get Hare Krishna references? Really, you know what I mean?
Right. But it is cool, and it is. I almost laughed out loud during the Steve Martin scene when he's making his cameo in it. There's a shit ton of cameos in there.
There were a ton of cameos in that movie.
Yeah, Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah.
Right.
What was it? 80s, early 80s or late
79.
79. Wow.
Long time ago. Now, we are, as some people may not know, we do this over Skype. Lisa and I are here in studio, and then Joan is in Colorado. Lowell is in Baltimore. Now, Lowell, the way you are sitting right now is very distracting.
It's like the proctology exam.
Yes.
It is.
position.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gynecological
No, the gynecological
exam. Yeah, you were in
gynecological
stirrups.
exam. I was in stirrups.
Yeah, and you know, the camera is facing Lowell head on.
I was waiting for you to know.
Yeah. He
I
had
was
something
waiting
else
for
up
you
on
to
the screen
notice.
for a long time,
Wait,
and then he just switched back, and it was like, oh my god, I looked like
That's-
twice. Like, does he have pants on?
That's the position I was in the Paul video that we made when we were 16.
Oh, man, that's
Remember?
right. Yes,
Paul
on the
Paul was a
workout
char-
equipment.
Yeah, Paul was a character from Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, well, you'd have to.
Yeah.
And we did a skit on video.
He was a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, a terrible stand-up comedian. We did a thing that he got beat up and he was on his last legs.
Right.
And he was in the hospital.
That's right.
And you had that exercise equipment in your basement, and I positioned myself so it looked like I was in stirrups.
Yes. It's still
And-
telling jokes.
Still telling jokes and on a monitor with the beeping.
Yes, that's right.
Beep.
That's right.
Still telling terrible jokes, and for some reason I'm in the hospital in stirrups. Barely
Right.
alive.
Why are you in stirrups? We don't know.
Right. Barely alive.
So that was my little adventure. Now you and Aly,
Oh yeah.
you guys went somewhere. This totally caught me off guard. I never thought you would do this.
Well, okay, so Aly is a huge fan of Bravo TV.
Yes.
She loves all the Housewives and all the second
Right.
and third tier shows as well, like all that stuff. She's a super fan.
Right.
So there's a podcast,
Of course.
called Watch What Crappens.
Okay.
The title is based off the show Watch What Happens with Andy Cohen, which is on Bravo, but they made their own podcast starting from scratch. Nothing.
Wow. Nothing.
Like 5 listeners, yeah.
So they weren't part of the show or anything
Nope,
like that.
They just started their own thing. It's 2 guys. They do like impersonations, and they know everything about Bravo. They watch all the shows, and they like each show is like a recap of whatever show aired that day or the day before.
Okay.
It's like one of the most popular podcasts going right now.
Besides us.
So now they do live podcasts.
Yep.
So they were coming to Baltimore, and Aly really wanted to go. It was coming down to the wire, and she didn't really have anyone to go with. And I said, I'll go with you because I
Okay.
know you'll have a good time.
Right.
But for me, this would be like taking Aly to like
An Oreo factory.
Like the
game?
ESPYs.
yeah, or something. Just like
Yeah, right,
like
right.
because I went in there, I was way out of my element. It was
Yeah.
like
All women?
all women, a lot of gay guys,
Sure.
and a handful of husbands in the same position as
You're
me.
right.
Like,
Right.
That was it. And what's interesting about this crowd too is a lot of people were there like by themselves.
Oh.
That's their big thing. Like people go there by themselves and meet other fans, and they become like friends. That's like their thing.
Sure. I mean, that definitely happened at the few live events we did and the few events that I did when I was with O'Mara. That a lot of people did that.
Yeah. So it was at Baltimore Soundstage, and there probably was about 500 people there. It was sold out.
Wow.
And I just kept saying to Aly, I'm like, Mark would be so pissed if he was here right now. He would be so pissed.
Now, when you say pissed, why would I be pissed?
I know why you'd be pissed.
Because you'd be so mad that like,
they're popular.
yeah, and we're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
You know?
much. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You got it right.
And
Yep.
then when they came out, to start the show, and like everyone went nuts, I said to her again, I would like, Mark would probably leave at this point. I don't think he could handle this.
Charles Hockenberry sitting on a field by himself going, whoa.
Yeah, two people at the restaurant.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everybody to the
Yeah,
exactly. So there's that.
Pretty crowded in that restaurant. I didn't have any place to sit when the last time I.
Atta girl, Lisa.
There you go,
feel like
Lisa.
I was
Right.
there,
That's my
so I'm
girl.
just saying.
Yeah. So the show's going on, and Allie kept turning to me, and she kept going, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." Because what they would do is they definitely would go underground. Like I had no fucking idea what they were talking about.
Right.
But then they would like come out of that and tell a story about something that like happened to them.
Right.
That may have been related to
Right.
whatever they were talking about. And when they were doing that, like that was funny. I was laughing.
Sure. But you know what they needed? They needed to have like a waiting room for all the husbands that are there just to be the good husbands. And just to go in and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
what are you here for?"
With
No.
football on.
Wait, so I thought because in the way back when we got there, it was like there were a bunch of tables back there. So I thought, well, maybe that'll be my out. And Allie even kept saying to me, she's like, if you want to go back there and just look at your phone and whatever, it's fine.
Right.
I'm like, no,
Right.
I'll hang out.
Yeah.
And then at one point though, I was like, well, maybe I will go back and I looked back and all the tables were full of people. Like the place was
wow.
packed. Yeah. So I was like, oh,
Good
that's not
Lord.
gonna happen. So the one bug out thing that happened though was like, so we sat next to, there was a woman that was sitting next to Allie who was there by herself, and Allie and her just immediately started talking about everything, and they were really hitting it off. And then there was some people sitting in front of us. Well, there was an open chair next to that girl next to her, and this other girl came over and started reaching over to like talk to her friends that were the people sitting in front of us.
Okay.
And was like being like really loud
During
about
the
it.
show?
During the show.
Oh, man.
God.
Yeah, like really loud. And then that girl went up to go to the bathroom, and then the girl asked Allie, she's like, "Can I sit here?" And she's like, "Well, there's somebody sitting there."
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, it's okay." And then she's just sat there
Oh,
Oh,
God.
boy.
and like then started talking more to her friends, and it was like getting really awkward and
I
like
hate how people get so entitled. Now, was she maybe a little, a couple sheets to the wind?
I think she was, but I think she was out of her element too, because she was just like fake laughing at everything the people were saying. Like you could tell she was like fake laughing. Like I don't know what her problem was. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what her problem was, and it became like a bug out. And then, but the one thing I did notice is that these guys went almost a little over 2 hours.
Wow.
And we had been there now about an hour and a half when this started going down. And I could tell they were kind of starting to lose the room a little bit.
Okay.
People were starting to talk and stuff. And then Allie turned to me and she's like, between that and this girl, she was like, "If you want to leave now, we can leave now." And I was like, I said,
Like,
I'll
sold.
stay. Obviously, but I just said, "Look, I don't want to steal your thunder. If you don't want to leave, we can stay and stay it all out." She's like, "No, I think I've had enough." And I'm like, "Okay, yes."
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
enough.
So yeah, then we exited. So it was like between the bug out saved the day of the story. But
That's sort of a long show, though, to expect people to
Yeah,
sort of sit
that
there.
is.
Especially, I don't know, especially just listen to people talking, which can be enjoyable and funny, but for 2 hours is a
Seems
bit.
like a lot.
Yeah.
but I said that to Allie too, and she's like, "Well, if you think about it, like everyone there paid $25 a ticket, and when you do a live show, you probably want to go a couple hours. The key is these guys." I mean, they were good, but I don't think they were any better than what we're doing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of things that I felt they could have done to tighten up the show. Maybe. I mean, but they said they had been on the road for like 4 days. They had been in 4 different cities.
So they could
I
have been
guess-
a little exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, that too. So there's a little
So
bit
wait,
of that. So
again, this is a show.
It's a review
podcast
show.
about a show.
It reviews all the different reality shows on Bravo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Review and
they're-
commentary.
Yeah, and they're making a very nice living, it seems like, off of
So is that what we got to do? We got to change our format.
I
to
think we
some-
might have to. Yeah, we got to do something because the 10 people that listen to this show is it's not going to cut
you
it
could
much
do the wrap
longer.
up of all the Ramblewood reunions. And
Yeah, how
that'll
about
just draw the crowds.
We got that coming up too. The Ramblewood reunion.
We do have our camp reunion coming up that Jonah will not be attending.
Okay. Beep, beep, beep,
All right, so you guys, let's wrap up with this because I need some opinions. I need some thoughts here. I texted you guys, and you guys heard the intro as well. You know, being with your significant other, your spouse, a lot of backseat driving. Now, Amy and I, we had an incident.
Is that precipitating this?
Yeah, look, I will say this. I'm an extra cautious driver when I am driving, say, through a neighborhood or an area that's heavily populated by pedestrians.
Because
there's a reason for that.
One, right?
Yes,
exactly.
I definitely have become a bit traumatized from that time that person walked in front of my car and I hit them.
He was going 40 miles an hour. At least 40.
Yeah. And I know I'm a little slow, in those situations. And I know it probably drives Amy a little nuts, right? Like, she's always like, come on, let's go, right?
Right.
But like, you guys have all driven with me. Lisa probably the least, but you too, you Lowell and you Jonah, you guys have driven with me a lot. And be honest, have you noticed if I'm a bad driver or not?
No, I think you're a fine driver.
Yeah.
I think I'm fine. I'm not aggressive. I'm not an aggressive driver unless somebody pisses me off. Then sometimes I
then
go
you're
off
a
the handle.
turbo, scary, aggressive driver.
Exactly.
Right. I'm working on that. I'm really working on that. So one Saturday recently, we were bringing popsicles. It was during that heat wave that we had. We were bringing popsicles to my stepdaughter, who was lifeguarding at our neighborhood pool. So this was in the neighborhood. We're no rush. It's a Saturday. We're just taking our time, just doing
It's
like
hot.
a nice
You've
thing.
got popsicles.
Right. We just want to bring all the lifeguards. But, well, come on. I mean, it's like the grocery store was 5 minutes from the pool.
Okay.
So I was driving in the right lane. I was heading north. Amy wants me to swing across to the left lane that's heading south where the opposite direction of traffic's flowing, right? But there really wasn't any cars coming. But there are people running around. She wants me to temporarily park in the loading drop-off area that's right in front of the pool. It looks just like a parking spot, but without a curb. You know what I mean? It's like kind of flush with the sidewalk to unload shit.
Like
and
a
load
ramp.
up shit. Yeah, kind of like that. So she gives me the instruction, okay, go over there, right, and point it. I was pretty sure I knew what she meant, but in her opinion, I wasn't responding quick enough to the instruction.
The command, some might say.
Right. Well, because I did say, where do you want me to park? I like to let her lead because I just think things go more smoothly if I let her lead. So go over there. So I'm kind of processing it, looking for people because I know that's a heavy person area. And it's 10 to 15 feet away, the spot. As I'm processing, while I'm driving, she grabs the wheel.
Oh, God.
And starts forcing it to the left. Go over here. Go over here.
Nope. Not okay.
I went off.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah,
And then, so here was the thing. So she was totally taken back and surprised
that you were pissed,
that I was pissed, and and felt it wasn't a big deal because she feels there wasn't really anyone around. There weren't any cars coming. There wasn't anyone behind me. So her thought is, well, what's the big fucking deal? You're not going 55 miles per hour. You're going.
That's not the point. You're driving.
Right.
You don't grab the wheel when someone's driving.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Never.
I don't care if you're going 2 miles an hour.
You only grab the wheel if they pass out.
Yeah.
My steering wheel has the little button on the back of it to like increase your volume.
Sure.
The other day, Victor reached across and like acted like he was about to
even that's a little bit
move the volume up or down on my wheel. I'm like, what are you doing? Do not touch the steering wheel.
Yeah.
There's a volume button right there.
In my country, you can push the button.
We push buttons. We want to push
the wheel.
We make
if we
the
want
push.
to touch the wheel.
Right. So everybody then is in agreement.
No, absolutely.
Okay, I'm not
Crazy.
crazy.
Don't touch
Not
the
crazy.
wheel when someone else is driving. No.
You are
Now,
not
look,
crazy.
I don't care who's around.
We all respect that Amy is the leader of the free world. She's a take charge kind of gal.
Yes.
She surfs the waves of life, but that's too far. Too far.
I think only because, of course, one of her friends, she's listening, by the way.
That's
only
right.
thing one of her friends kind of convinced her it was probably not the best. I think she's come around and realized that you really don't do that.
Right.
So it's all good now. But man, that was quite a blowout fight that we had about it.
Yeah, but that's not even at all where I thought you were going with it, or because of like the intro too. Because
well, like I said, Amy and I guess maybe I didn't stress it enough, but Amy and I definitely have this ongoing backseat driver type
Gotcha.
of thing where she feels I do a piss poor job at taking direction. Or if she'll say, watch out, there's a cop ahead, I'll quickly just snap. I know, I see it.
Yeah, me too, because I don't like to be talked to, much less barked at when I'm driving. I'm in my zone. So it's not even that what you're saying doesn't make sense or isn't pertinent. It's that don't throw stuff at me when I'm trying to navigate the car.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, my wife is actually very cool with this one. Like, there's a lot of ways my wife will go into great detail about how I'm totally blowing something. But with the car, when I'm driving crazy, she literally just goes, wee. That's her nice, pleasant sign
I like that.
I'm driving like a freaking idiot.
Well, you do drive like an idiot.
No question.
The blue bomber.
A little scary.
Yeah.
And she grabbed the wheel. I would have been like, oh, hell no.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was some incredible Hulk shit going on.
But let me tell you, I will tell Victor there's a green light. I will absolutely, because he's sitting there not paying a fucking attention.
Yes, Megan gives me feedback, but never like grab the wheel.
Right. No.
I mean,
No.
my eyes must have popped out of my head when she did that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And then she was making me kind of doubt myself because she's like, Mark, it's not a big deal. Whatever. Nobody's here. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So then I'm like thinking to myself, is that really maybe
it's
I'm
no
wrong?
big deal if you're in like your own driveway and going like a mile an hour. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
I get I was wrong. I get you shouldn't grab someone's wheel while they're driving, but it was just so frustrating to me that he was like, I was trying to get him to like, just pull over quickly into this one area, and he's like, where do we go? And he's like, passing it.
That's what I was like.
I'm just saying.
Where do I go?
He's kind of like, where do I go? And I was just like, just go over there. I just got frustrated at it. But I would not say that it was a huge blowout. I was annoyed because he was kind of like, what the hell did you do? Okay, I would have been like, he could like, don't ever grab the wheel again. Like, that's how I'd be like, don't fuck with the wheel, don't grab it again. I didn't need like him to be like, oh my God, what did you do? You know, like I felt like the way he went about it was so like dramatic. It like, tell me, don't fucking do that again, you know?
Look at Mark's face. That's all you need to do. Just look at his face.
Then there are the times that Amy sometimes she'll think I'm too close to this or that or something's too close. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's, God,
I can't stand when I know I am in perfect control. Like I know where my surroundings. Oh my God.
I tend to do that too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Amy, I think you're right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, of course I am. But he doesn't really know my car that well, and I feel like he hugs the right a lot on my car. So sometimes I see how close he is to something, and I think the mirror is going to go off. And I'll be like, ooh. Granted, I do react a little bit over the top, but, you know, and it's just my reaction is big.
I'm with you, girl.
But I decided with him, I decided with him, I'm just not going to, if he doesn't know where he's going or it's just local, I'm just going to drive. He can do like the long drives on the highway
the way
or
to do
big
it.
things, but
know your audience.
He's not great at taking direction from me, and I know this area a lot better than he does. He still doesn't know our neighborhood.
Oof.
You know what? With the picture Amy paints, she's so afraid I was going to paint her into a bad picture. So right now, just picture me like Goofy the dog from Disney, driving the car all over the fucking highway.
Oh, God.
All the lanes, and I'm swiping the mirrors off the car.
It's pretty accurate.
Oh, my God. All while going 3 miles per hour because I'm so fucking slow on the road.
Oh, dear.
All right, that will do it for the Mark and Lowell Show. Please go to Facebook, go to Twitter, friend and follow us over there. And if you need that information or any other information, Mark and Lowell, just go to markandlowell.com.
And if you want to get me on all of the social media. Oh, you forgot my urine and feces.
And a big thanks to Lisa Runyon.
Bye, boys.
And she ain't lying.
And a big thanks to Jonah Berger.
Say, if you want to get me, you get me on www.ourlivepodcastdon'tbringnocrowds.com.
And a big shout out to Buzz Burbank, RJ Diaz, Aaron Lamb, and everybody else who helps us with this show. For Lowell Melser, I'm Mark Ronick. We will see you next time on the Mark and Lowell Show. Bye-bye.
That's pretty much why I mostly drive now these days, like when I go places, because like I can't handle Victor too. Like we do not need to spend 27 minutes trying to find the perfect parking spot when we go to the grocery store.
Nope.
Pull in a fucking spot and let's go.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.